Hello and welcome to the Kingdompreneur Moment Live Show. I am your host, faith-based business coach, speaker, trainer, author, poet, live show host, radio show host, and founder of Divine Connection Network Association. It is a magnificent opportunity for you and I to share, connect, and grow today. Take a moment, unlock what's inside you. It's a divine connection. So today, the Kingdompreneur Moment Live Show has something very special for you. And as you know, the Kingdompreneur Moment Live Show, we give real business solutions in real business time. And so this is why we're having this amazing platform for you as current and future female kingdompreneurs to gain clarity of your mission, your message, and your mandate. And today we're going to give you some real business solutions in real time. So I'm very, very excited. Now, for those that are joining us for the very first time, I want to thank you. For those that are watching in the replay, hello, and thank you so much for doing hashtag the confident woman in your replay and let us know that you are watching. Go ahead and like and share, and of course, share with your friends this platform. It is going to be amazing today. So I want to ask you viewers a question. Have you ever felt discouraged in your business? Especially as a female Christian business owner, have you ever felt discouraged? I know I have. Maybe you can relate as well. Let me ask you viewers another question. Have you ever wanted to be about um, in the worldwide marketplace? Have you ever thought about, what is it like to live in a different part of the world and be a Christian business owner? What type of perspective is that from an international point of view as a kingdompreneur? These are some questions that many of us have asked. And guess what? I have another question for you because we think about these things and we question ourselves about these things all the time. So maybe you are like me. Have you ever asked yourself, have you ever wanted to learn how to boldly proclaim your faith in the worldwide marketplace? Wouldn't that be wonderful to get paid for what you love to do while proclaiming your faith? Well, guess what? I have some breaking news. Leaders Rising, the Confident Woman World Tour is going to be taking place July 22nd and 23rd. And the question is, are you ready to boldly proclaim your faith in the marketplace? Now, did I hear a yes? Did I hear a yes? Yes, it is time, ladies. God is saying to us, according to Isaiah 61, arise and shine, confident women, for you are leaders for such a time as this. It is your time to arise and shine, for the glory of the Lord is upon you as confident women. So my question to you that are watching right now, are you going to join the gathering of this worldwide assembly for leaders rising the confident woman? Are you going to participate? Are you going to come from all the four corners of the world to participate in Leaders Rising the Confident Woman World Tour? If you said yes, go ahead right now and start inboxing me for speaker information and ambassador information. We are looking for ladies around the globe that are Christian business owners that want to take the stage and say, yes, I'm ready to boldly proclaim my faith in the marketplace. I'm so excited to present to you Leaders Rising, the Confident Woman World Tour. For more information, make sure that you inbox me, Doreen Lettsome Reid, and I will respond giving you all of the information. Now, today we have a very special guest, and I'm going to bring up Miss Ida Joyce. Hello, Ida. How are you?
I'm well, Doreen. How are you?
Well, I'm better than I see you, of course. So, Ida, it is amazing to have you here today. Now, you're one of the ladies that have actually said, yes, I'm a confident woman. And you have actually gone through a journey saying, I've turned my pain into power. Hallelujah. And so it's an amazing opportunity for you to be on the Kingdompreneur Moment live show, giving those that are watching real solutions in real time. So, I want you to kind of like tell us a little bit about yourself, tell us your story, and give us all of the wonderful things that you are doing.
Well, I am a mother of four. I am a wife of almost 27 years. um, and my story kind of begins with um, building a ministry around the loss of my son. On May 19th, 2018, a day that was supposed to be a day of fun turned into a day of devastation. Um, my son left home to go to a birthday party with some friends. Um, the child's mother was there with them in the beginning. They went paintballing, had a great time paintballing, and as they got ready to leave from the paintballing, they made the decision to go to Buffalo Wild Wings. Um, the mom, for some reason, I don't really know exactly all the details as to why she couldn't take them, but she had to leave. So she asked another child that they were there with that had a car if he could drive them to Buffalo Wild Wings. As they left, she asked him, be careful, drive safe. He responded to her, yes, ma'am, I always drive safe. So along with them, there was also another car with some other kids in it. And they left to go to Buffalo Wild Wings. And on the drive there, the driver decided that they were going to race. And
Mm.
he took it upon himself to be on a road that was a 40-mile-per-hour lane. And I believe he was doing, when we went to court, because we had to go to court for it, because he was charged with vehicular homicide, amongst other things. And he decided he was going to go 80 something miles an hour on a 40-mile-per-hour road. It was raining that day, and they ended up in an accident that there were five of them in the car, and it took the other four students, the other four kids' lives. The driver survived, and we were left with four families who were just completely devastated. And I still can vividly remember the day that the police officer knocked on my door. And when he knocked on my door, the last thing that ever came to my mind was that this was what they were there for. I actually thought maybe my son had gotten in trouble for something, and they were coming to tell me that he was in jail or something. My kid wasn't a bad kid, and he didn't get it. He's never been to jail. None of my kids have ever been in trouble, but why would the police be at my door? So that was what came to my mind. And never in my wildest imagination would I ever have imagined that they were there to tell me that my son was gone. He was only 16 years old. He was the youngest one in the car. And it was just devastating. And it was horrible because the mother who allowed the kids to drive, go with them, her son was in the car as well. So it's not like I'm angry with her or anything like that, because, her kid was there too. And I sometimes feel like she feels bad, but it wasn't her fault. She didn't know. Nobody would put their child or other children's in harm. Just to take it a little step further, he was charged with vehicular homicide, and I can't remember all the other counts. It's been a while since the court case went through, and um, he was also under the influence of drugs.
Mm.
Um, in the car was also found a bag that was his. They took fingerprints off, got his fingerprints, checked all of the kids who passed away's fingerprint. None of their fingerprints was on it. So he had marijuana. He had all kinds of gummies and different types of stuff. I don't know whether he was selling them or what the situation was, but that was what was found in the car. All of the students were tested. I mean, all of the four other kids were tested to see if they had drugs. I know I asked. I said, I want to know if my son had anything in his system. I know we raise our kids a certain way. I'm a Christian. raising my kids, my child a Christian, but kids do things that are wrong sometimes. And it came back that that none of them had anything in their system. This wasn't a student that they hung with all the time. He just happened to be at the party. They wanted a ride, and they lost their lives because they wanted to go out and have fun. And that's kind of where the journey began. And from the day that he passed away, I knew that I needed to keep myself strong for the purpose of my husband and my children and my family that was around me that was suffering so badly. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not here to say that there weren't times when I lost it. There weren't times when I cried. There weren't times when I've been devastated through this process. But God has given me the strength to keep going and to share and to teach people and to talk to people about ways to continue on. Some people fall into so many different things. They fall into anger. They're mad at God because of it. And I went through some of that too. And, God gave me answers and, eased my pain, and he continues to ease my pain. And, so I some of the tools that I use personally are prayer. Prayer is my biggest thing. You can never spend enough time in prayer. And when you get into the presence of God and when you allow God to begin to heal your heart, it changes your whole perspective. So prayer was my greatest weapon. It is, just as Christians, it's our most powerful weapon. So I used prayer and I used writing. Writing was a huge relief for me. There's many different things that people can do. But those are just two things that really worked well for me. I began to write. I began to share things on social media about what I was going through and how I was feeling. And people began to respond to me and say, oh my God, the stuff that you write, the things that you say, they are so inspirational, and they've helped us through. We had a town, my son and his friends were very well known here. My town is small, and the kids would follow me on Facebook, and the parents that were going through stuff would follow me on Facebook, because it wasn't just a loss for us, it was a loss for the town. So,
Yes.
to let you know, my town only has one high school. So all of these kids know each other. All of these parents know each other. So they began to send me messages telling me, how I was helping them through, and, how they couldn't understand how it is that I was the one who lost a child, but I was the one who was encouraging people. So that's kind of where the journey began. And so I said, okay, God, people began to send me messages telling me, you need to write a book because the stuff that you put up is so powerful. And so I began writing stuff for a blog, and I began a blog that I released. And along with the blog, I also released a blog page, Facebook page connected to that. And I created a group, and I'm also on Instagram as well. And people come on there all the time, and they just tell me, please don't stop. The things that you're sharing and the things that you say are so inspiring, and it's such a blessing. And I had one of Nicholas's friends pass away a few months, maybe about 6 months ago. Might be about 6 months ago. She was sick and she passed away. And her dad follows my page, and he was like, he sent me a message one day saying, some days I get up and I feel like I'm just going to lose it. And I open up, Facebook, and I get on there and I start reading the stuff that you write. And it helps me to get through, and it helps me to know that Emily's there with me. And I told him, I said, she's there with you. We're connected in heart. Love is what connects us. Your child is connected to you. Your loved one is connected to you through the love that you have and you carry on. And, so that's kind of where everything was birthed from.
So, Miss Ida, tell us the name of your ministry, because out of all, like I said, you have really decided and made a decision to say, yes, I'm a confident woman. And
Yeah.
confident women turn pain into power.
Amen.
That's
Yeah.
what we do. We actually become leaders. And that's what I'm hearing. You did exactly what Isaiah 61 said. God commands us, arise and shine, for the
Yeah.
glory of the Lord is upon you. So, as a leader rising as the confident woman, you have literally turned pain into power, and now you're using that to take ground in the marketplace because you have a blog, you have a ministry, you have a Facebook group, and now you're looking to expand your ministry. So give us the name of the ministry, the name of the Facebook group, and how can people get in contact with you?
The name of my ministry, my blog, the name of my ministry is Life After Death, and I chose Life After Death. People get it, and some people don't get it. I chose Life After Death because I wanted people to know that there is life after death. When you lose someone, some people kind of just want to give up on life. They want to stop living. I chose Life After Death because I want people to find a purpose to live and a reason to carry on. And I'm not telling people to forget their loss. I'm not telling people to move forward and not remember their loss. I'm telling them to carry that loss with them everywhere, every day. And as you give it to God, it's a light carry. You carry their memories with you. There's times when you are able to look at their pictures and you're able to laugh and do all kinds of things that you never thought you would be able to do. But it's called Life After Death. My blog page is Life After Death slash Hope After Finding a Child.com. I'm sorry, Hope After Losing, Life After Death slash Hope After Losing a Child.com. And on there, I have um, prayers. I share stories about some of the experiences I've gone through. I have prayer on there. I have declarations so that as you read that prayer, you can take that prayer and turn it into a declaration and begin to see God change your heart and begin to find joy again, begin to find peace again, and hope to keep moving forward. You can live, especially after loss of a child. We lose people, and we expect to lose our parents. You hear people all the time say, I don't know what I'm going to do when my mother is gone or my father is gone. That's something that we expect in life. One of the things that we don't expect, and I've had people who have had children who were in gangs and all kinds of things, who have lost children, who have said to me, I thought my child might go to jail for the rest of their life, but I never thought they would die. So even under those circumstances, you will even hear people who have lost children to different diseases and stuff who will say, oh, I thought maybe a miracle would happen. We don't expect to lose our children. We just don't. It's just too much to fathom. And so that was part of the reason that I wanted to start this ministry, because I felt God pushing me to do it and saying, you have something within you to share with people to give them hope after they lost someone so special to them.
And this is another thing that the confident woman does. The confident woman takes a moment, unlock what's inside you. It's
Amen.
a divine connection. So a confident woman takes a moment and thinks about, how can I turn this pain into power? Now, Miss Ida, for you, when did that transition take place for you? Because we know all of this did not happen all at one time, but God gave you the key to unlock what's inside you. You used prayer as a key, you used writing as a key, you took time, you took that divine moment to realize this is a divine connection. So all of these are keys to unlock what's on the inside you, the confident woman that is watching right now. Because whether you're in business, whether you're a professional woman, whether you are at home with your children and you are working the ministry of your home, we have all been affected by some type of devastating,
Amen.
unforeseen occurrence.
Amen.
Much less thinking of the fact losing a child, which is what we're specifically talking about today. You're thinking that you're sending your child off to do a fun activity, which is what we're supposed to do. We can't put our children in a bubble.
Yeah.
So, but then to have the police officer come to your house and say, okay, you're never going to see your son anymore, and to have that affect not just your family, but in your story, four families at the same time, and all of them going to the same high school. So now it's a ripple effect affecting not just you, the four families, but the entire high school, as a
Yes.
leader rising in your community as the confident woman. How did you get to this point where you're saying, okay, I'm going to now be a leader rising, turning pain into power as a confident woman? How did that transpire for you?
For me, yeah, like I said, it was just little by little. Um, I just
I
had
love that, little by little.
little by
And
little. Um,
Joyce Myers talks about that all the time. She always says little by little. And I can't remember, I think it's in Ecclesiastes, the ultimate
yeah,
businessman talks to us about that. He doesn't expect you to rise up all at one time, but by faith, and you even can have the authority and the ability to understand that if it's little by little bit, you may have to say, Lord, help my unbelief. I
man,
trust you. I believe you, but
yeah,
help my unbelief so
yeah,
that I can continue to grow my faith daily, because we have to understand this is a faith walk, a faith process. And as confident women, if we're not careful, our confidence will be sucked from us because we'll
yeah,
think we got to have it all together in one day. But
yeah,
little by little is what you said. So I don't want the audience to lose sight of the keys that you're giving to unlock what's inside us as confident women, because that is a pivotal key. It's a major key to understand that this is a little by little process. Go ahead.
yes, amen. It definitely is a little by little process, and each day I had to sit at the feet of God and just pour my heart out to God. Like I said, there was times when I didn't understand, and I asked God why. I'm like, Lord, I'm serving you. I'm living my life for you, and why my son? You know what I mean? I'm not that I want anybody's son to be gone, but why? You know, and there were times that I just didn't understand things, and I had to just keep seeking the face of God and keep seeking the face of God and keep seeking the face of God. Now, did he tell me why? No, he didn't tell me why. But what he did tell me was, I said, God, I pray all the time and I ask you to keep my children safe. What happened? I don't consider my son being dead being safe. And God came back to me and he said to me, where is the safest place in the world that your son could be? And I had to pause for a second. And then I had to repent because I said, Lord, you are absolutely correct. The safest place for him to be is in your arms. He said, that's where he is. He's here with me. And he will be here when you get here. So that is what inspires me and keeps me going every day, knowing that he is resting in the arms of God. He's not here. He doesn't have to deal with all of the nonsense that's going on in this world right now. Now, does that mean that I don't still cry because I miss his presence? Absolutely not. There's days when I still cry. I still, like right now, I'm in that season where the anniversary is about to come up. The last things, the memories of the last things we did together. We are coming up in April 20th was Leslie's birthday. We went down for her 60th birthday party. And that was the last trip we took together. That was the last time they got to see him. There is, his last, our last Mother's Day together. We did a big video. My son do music. We did a huge video on that particular day for Mother's Day, which was the Sunday before he passed away, which was that Saturday. So when all of these things start to come up, I start to get a little bit of an anxiousness in my spirit. I start to feel a little more emotional. So I share that to say to people that no, I'm not in a place where I'm just floating on cloud nine all the time. I have my ups and downs too. But God continues to strengthen me and give me the ability to keep going, to get up, to live. I know my son loved life and he had a wonderful life. He shared that on social media like a month or so before he passed away. And I know that he wouldn't want me. I think about what I would say to my loved one if I passed away and had opportunity to come back and tell them what to do. I would tell them to live life, love your life, remember me, keep going.
And so, what I'm also hearing too, as a leader rising in your home, as a leader rising, the confident woman, you know, you really risen in your home as well. So you have other children. The fact that you're also married, you also have other children, did those attributes help you rise up even the more so as a confident woman because you knew that you had to mentally and
Yes.
emotionally keep yourself together or allow God to keep you together because
Yes.
we can't do anything. You had to really lean back and rest in Him even
Yes.
the more because you knew that your children were going through massive grief and anguish as well.
Amen.
Also,
Yes.
that's one side of it, but for your husband to lose a son, that is very painful. How did you deal with these different aspects of relationships? Because loss affects people differently. Loss affects men
Yes.
differently. That was
Yes.
his son. It affects your children differently. That was their brother. You are the mother. So how would you address those aspects of those relationships?
I think that was one of the most difficult things for me. As a mother, and as a wife, we are the ones who are the fixers. We mend everything. When your child falls, when your husband is sick, you take care of them and you fix the boo boo. You take away the illness. You give them the medicine and the soup, and all of those things. So we expect to be able to fix those types of things, and that was very difficult for me because this was something that I couldn't fix. I had to allow God to fix. So I spent a lot of time, again, like I said, in prayer, praying for them, speaking into their lives, and just reminding them, of who God was, and just showing them how God was sustaining me. And I truly believe that God used me and sustained me, and it allowed them to feel sustained too. They felt, because of the strength that God gave me, they felt more secure. I would just constantly talk to them. I thank God because I was surrounded by people who reached out to them as well. A lot of times I've read stories of siblings who just feel left out because people come and they cater to the parents, but they forget about the kids. But my family and the friends that we had, they reached out to all of us. The town reached out to all of us. The love and the support that we have gotten from this town, I have never seen. Like, I mean, I could just share video after video. The constant for weeks of them sending us breakfast and food, and just it would. I mean, these parents. And I'm not talking about the parents of the students who passed away. I'm talking about the parents of the kids because our kids played football and they ran track. So all of these football moms and track moms and all of them, they just came together and loved up on us and strengthened us, and that was a great part of our strength too. And another great part of the strength was my kids, my son's friends are like kids to me. My kids, they come over. They haven't been here, because of COVID recently, but they come and they support us. They visit. They, come when we have a cookout. They come. They just support us and love us. So those things have helped, and they help the children. My kids too. My kids will say, "Oh my God, the love and support that they gave us helped us get through this." So, God, I had to pray and ask God to touch their hearts and heal their hearts. And like I said, the same thing with them, little by little. Like you said, everybody goes through something different. It felt different to my husband than it did to me. Things are similar, but there are also things that are very different. So, it was a blessing to be surrounded by my family and the friends that we have. Just amazed. It's God just amazed me with the support that He has given us and the love.
Well, Miss Ida, you are truly a leader rising, the confident woman. We thank you so much for being so candid with us about your experience. Here on the Kingdompreneur Moment Live Show, it's been in my heart to make sure I'm giving real solutions in real time. And so the ministry that you have that to tell people that there is life after death, this is very, very real. It happens and affects many of us. Some of us don't express it as openly, and that's okay. We respect that. But we also thank you for amplifying your voice and being a leader, rising, turning pain into power as a confident woman. So we thank you for being here today. And with that being said, ladies, I do want you to go ahead and share and comment and like the video. What I would like to also say to you is, as a faith-based business coach, one of the master classes that I have, and it is now open. You can DM me if you're interested. Leaders Rising, Turning Pain into Power Masterclass. It is an 8-week intensive masterclass where we deal with issues such as this that may hinder you in business. As Miss Ida said, little by little, we have to deal with the issues in our life in order for us to go forth. She had to deal with these issues before she could start and build a ministry. And now she's telling me, I want to take it even higher. I want to take what I'm doing higher. So, in order for you to do that, you're going to need, like she said, support. And that's where a faith based business coach comes in. That's where I come in doing this masterclass called Leaders Rising, Turning Pain into Power. So if you're interested in that, just go ahead and DM me, Doreen Reid, and I will respond to you and give you the information for that masterclass. The masterclass is a limited time only and limited seating only. So you don't want to miss that opportunity to really rise up and become Leaders Rising, Turning Pain into Power. This has been amazing. Thank you so much, Miss Ida, for this opportunity.
Thank
Um,
you for having
and
me.
we really, really enjoyed your story. And I just speak blessings over you and your household. We know, according to the ultimate businessman, that the best is yet to come for you and your household. Truly, he is a keeper of covenant, even to 1,000 generations. And so
Amen.
great is his faithfulness. And so we thank you for sharing. We thank you for your children allowing you to share. We speak blessings over them, your husband, and your entire household. And of course, to you, the viewing audience, hashtag the confident woman. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.